Hey everyone, welcome to Mascara Fighters. I am the series creator and your host, Luis Felipe, and this is a special live presentation. This is the first ever streaming presentation for the brand, and I think it was about time I finally did one. So today we're going to be looking at something I've been working on for a while now, where I've been working on creating the Mascara Fighters Grande figures. You probably remember some of the past issues with it. I had one company honestly be a dud, then the other one have its issues where I just, it just ended up being such a mess, and toy making is such a thing. But finally decided to just do it on my own. And season one of what Mascara Fighters Grande figures, the Mascara Fighters Grande Diary, that whole season was designing this guy right here. As you can see, there he is. And he is not perfect, but he is a lot of fun. I have other versions of him, but I wanted just to show the model straight out right there. See? There you go. And with this guy, I wanted to make obviously more of them and, try to keep working on the articulation, because this is the figure in phase one. So I decided, you know what? Move forward. And I actually did. So I got a couple printer people and things like that to help with some issues here and there. And today we're going to be looking at some of the prototypes for the masters, if you will, which is what we're doing today. So we have here, as you can see, this is a master prototype bad print, because the hands are flipped. So you can see there, one hand is flipped there and the other hand is flipped the opposite way, plus the head is huge. Leg wise, this is not bad, but nothing can move on the legs. The legs are very delicate and can snap from the thigh and also from the leg. So it's literally fused together. So you can see there. The arms do move, which is good, but it could be better. Now the arms aren't exactly put to the shoulder, which I wanted to, which is another one of the issues that makes this guy right here a prototype. He's a prototype figure. So you can see right there. The waist does move, so I guess that's a win, but it's also not perfect, because if you see the figure here, the back is nowhere near as unaligned as it is here. Here it's very unaligned. It's not, if the camera will focus. There we go. There you can see it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. But it is what it is. I know some people are trying to jump on and be in the chat. For those of you just joining, there's a live stream, the first ever for Mascara Fighters, and I'm covering some of the prototype figures. And here we are. So that being said, this was a prototype figure, but wasn't a final. And you see how big the head is. So put him to the side. And let's look at some more stuff here. The next prototype I have here is trying to do an orange version, because this one actually did well with the waist. it is aligned right, but it isn't clean. The head is on properly, but unfortunately, it snapped like a twig here. So this is what it is. But the leg, funny enough, actually articulates. So that's pretty cool that I can get that much movement. You see, I can actually get rotation of the chest and the head, but it's not perfect. This is still very much in phase one. This is not the master final, but it's in progress. So that's kind of what we're covering today. Also, in printing and things like that, a couple of changes. Fusing this part is not as well as exact as I would have liked, but you know what I mean, it's toy making, so it'll stuff like that will happen. Let me show you a few more things here, which I have. Here is a chest, so you can see there's another test, but right here the arms actually move, and thankfully, because this is what we do here, you know, it is, you know, part of the business. The hand actually moves. See, on this one, the hand actually rotates. It didn't come out clean though, because you see, it's got a lot of leftover fibers and things like that. But you do what you do in toy making sometimes. This is just a regular chest piece. Arm. This right here is another print, but I don't know if you can tell the camera. These are different PLA materials. So this one's sturdier than this one. This one is, see, different. These are arms. Like I said, this is toy making at its basic, you know, but you see there, the hand articulates there, which would, you know, dare to say that it fits there, right? Ideally, at least to have that much there. But there's nothing secure there, so you kind of have to play with that. And slide that piece in there too to get it to be better, because this gap is pretty significant as compared to this one. This one fits a lot more flush, but this one doesn't. And since I'm here, I might as well pop this in. And see, that's what that piece is. And luckily, I actually have a hand that goes here, so let's put that in there. So the issue with this print is more the shoulders than anything else, being the big gap there. But the hands are on. And you know, since I have an extra hand, guess what? I'm gonna try to slide it in here. Hopefully it doesn't break like a twig, but there we go. And now at least he has both arms on this one. See what we got here. These are a couple of more chest prints and a couple more arms. And since they are here, see, toy making. Just gonna rotate the hand and see if it, you know what, this doesn't go here. These are of a different material and I don't want to combine materials that don't go together. So these are just chest prints. This guy right here is a different one, but this one has the legs fused. The crotch is its original crotch area. I have to clean this up because it came out of the machine like this. See here. There we go. There's that. And this arm goes into this guy. But I see what happened here. This doesn't fit in here. So I'd have to hollow out the arms for him to actually have his arms there. This is also a test because the head is not exactly the size that it should be. It's a little bigger. It was done to more or less, try to make it more proportional. But since these figures are gonna have hair and their final version is gonna be a little different, I kind of wanted their head to be a little small because the hair really adds more personality to it. This is the other arm that would go here. There we have that. Unfortunately, he does. I mean, I can get him to stand if I really. If I really mess with him, or you know what? Another quick tip I could probably do, because his feet aren't balanced, I could probably put like a little bit of glue on the feet so he doesn't go all the way back. But that's him right there. We've got a few more things. Like this. This is another body print, but this one needs to be cleaned out because a lot of the supports stayed on when they shouldn't have come on. Which means I have to, break them out, basically. Especially here, like you see how welded that is into there. I'm gonna have to maybe pry it open, but I don't want to break the legs, so I have to get a different tool than this. The screwdriver is not gonna do it. It'll get a little piece out, but it's not gonna get everything that I want out. By the way, thanks everyone who's watching this live or who's watching on the replay. It's the first time I try something like this. Let's see how it goes. There we go. See more. Material is just bouncing. thing. Getting the socket clean enough to pop something in there. And this is still not ready, really, but what are you gonna do? There we go. That exit piece. No, I don't want to force it too much because it'll snap it. So I think I'm going to leave it there. At least getting his hand in. Okay, so this hand needs to be glued just because there's no way to hold that. And this socket needs to be cleaned out with a different tool. So for this, that's how he is so far. But since I have him here, you know what? Here's his head. There we go. Oh, that looks nice. Okay, so that's pretty cool. See how that head fits on there flush? This is a perfect head size. But with testing, this might have been just like a happy accident. See right there? These are now like just some random pieces of just floating around because of printing. Say like there was no other leg here. Oh, here it is. Here's his other leg. And this one snapped. So that needs to be glued on, but there's no top to it. So there's no way to finish this figure out anyways. These are lower abdomen tests right there. An arm that was moved over. So this arm is, I guess you want to say, another failed test, but that's what tests are, to kind of get the bugs out. To what's going on here. I'll just leave it like that for now. A little bit of sanding that needed to be done for a couple of these arms and things. There's a few more pieces of just like random stuff, random arm tests and, you know, waist tests. We'll say I do like this head right here. This head is done pretty well. You know what, for fun, I'm going to see if I can, because this head would fit probably better here. Probably fit there, but I might have to sand this down a little bit. Side. And show a few more of these things. Yeah. So I got this right here. This bad boy is a lot closer. The leg moves. This leg moves. This arm moves. This arm moves. The hand moves as well. See? There, you can get a cleaner look of the character. These are also bigger. I don't know if I mentioned that, but see, these are way bigger than, these are like almost an entire inch and a half. These were some more tests. This was assembled backwards, but I think I can fix that easily. If I can fix this, maybe I can hodgepodge a couple of more. Yeah, perfect. So these legs are on properly now. Since I have that, there we go. At least he's got some legs to him. Literally. This guy. What to do with you? Oh, man. Lucky accident. This guy fits perfectly there. So, is it an exact proportion to it? No, because this is, like I said, these are a lot of testing for the masters, but this does get close. And I can move on a little bit. Still got to drill out the holes a little. Then we get to this guy, which is like right at the edge of being done as far as the figures concerned. The legs move. The arms move. They fall off, but they move. The hands move as well. Okay, so here's where the issue is with this one. See, that inside cavity needs to be drilled out. That's why the arm to the hand doesn't go in perfectly, but it is closer to what needs to be done. Also got to clean up some excess stuff here. And the final one is gonna, I'm looking at it because design-wise, I'm gonna probably fuse these and just make a foot cut instead of a thigh cut. So it'll at least have that articulation to it. And with all of these figures and stuff, we come to the end. And the end here is right here. This is, you know, more or less, because like I said, this isn't perfect, but this is more or less a test print and paint of one of the Mascara Fighters Grande versions, which is Mascara White. That's what he's looking like at the moment. So at this moment of time, I have one. If I have the little head, maybe I can pop it. No, that's still the issue of the bigger thing there. So I was thinking of something else. But I have, quote unquote, Sucks that this crashed so much. I'm just, organizing what I more or less have. Here, if I flip this leg out with this broken one, say these are not secure whatsoever. So silly things like that can happen. Let's see. These are the same. All right. So this guy has a head and he has legs. So I can work with him there. As I was saying, let's see what the count is so far. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ish figures, but that's currently what I got. And with that, I want to thank everyone who did come out here and checked out the stream, checked out the first live stream for Mascara Fighters. And I'll be coming back with more content soon enough. I'm not sure when I'm going to be going live again, but I will be announcing it for those of you because I know it is kind of up there in the hours. So again, just stay tuned, subscribe, across all the social media. I got this on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, on X, also mascarafighters.com, and probably more places. I have the LinkedIn and such and so forth. But again, thanks for joining me, showing these, master tests, if you will, Mascara Fighters Grande master tests in hand, the big ones. And I'll catch you guys next time. Bye. Bueno, bienvenidos señoras y señores. Y si han visto hasta ahora, este ha sido un stream de la serie de Mascara Fighters, específicamente los juguetes que pueden ver enfrente de mí, de que son los juguetes de la línea grande. Estos son los masters o los finales, entre comillas, y han tenido muchas pruebas y todas estas han sido diferentes pruebas. Estos no son los finales, pero estas han sido las pruebas de los personajes y pueden ver de que más o menos tengo 4 figuras y media, casi 5, de que puedo más o menos pintar o seguir jugando y arreglando y cosas así, pero quería hacer este video. Este es el primer stream en vivo de que he hecho para Mascara Fighters. Voy a tratar de hacer más streams en vivo porque creo que es importante seguir creciendo la etiqueta y cosas así. Y espero de que les haya gustado este video. Como he cubierto tanto, material, disculpo por no haber hecho en español y en inglés completamente la presentación, pero también por las piezas y rearmar y reponer todo sería repetitivo de que no necesitan eso. Pero, como dije, estos son los... Ahí se pueden ver mejor. Estas son las figuras. Y esta era la figura original de que había modelado. Que pueden ver de que es un poquito diferente por lo de la cintura. Pero ahí le vamos. Estamos en camino, gracias. Y para más, quédense ahí en Mascara Fighters a través de todas las redes sociales y ahora en vivo. Hasta la próxima. Bye.